good morning, welcome, oh good afternoon, good evening. We don't normally do an evening Facebook Live. Good evening, welcome to Thursday evening with the Songbird Stamper. I've got to work tomorrow. I normally do a Friday morning, but I was asked if I could do a Thursday evening instead, so here I am. We've had clap for carers, so I thought I'd pop on and craft with you all. A little bit unprepared, if I'm completely honest. I'll explain why in a bit, but yeah, good evening Lisa, how are you? Are you doing well? It's been hot, right? Really hot. Hey Sandy, how are you? Are you well? I see a few people popping on. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. I'm just going to try and find this. Good evening Jill, how are you? No more dog walking. Yeah, you're good, thanks. That's good Lisa. Glad to hear. Right, sorry, I'll be with you in 2 seconds. Let me just try and find this on the computer. Where are we looking for? Videos. I think I've got a touchscreen computer. I've managed to touch it. Hello, Lynn. How are you? Long time no see. Let's see if I can find the video. I'm wearing something completely different. Good evening, Emma. How are you? Hey, Yvonne. So I should be able to find myself in my trail of videos. I'm not wearing my standard red jumper this evening, right, so something a little bit different. Let me just try and find this on the computer. Where are we looking for? That's me, right, there we go. So this evening, Russ has just reminded me that his mum, thank you, nice and summary, his mum's birthday's coming up, so I need to make a birthday card for her. So I'm thinking free as a bird, unless anybody's got any other suggestions. So I've got a few sets. We could do Butterfly Gala, Free as a Bird. Probably Back on Your Feet's not quite such a good one for a birthday. The new Sunflower set. Good evening, Liz. How are you doing? I might see a few different people on here. We normally go on a Tuesday and a Friday, but as I was saying, I have to work. You've got no hoodie on, Lisa. Oh, bless you. What, you got your t-shirt? It's really muggy. Really muggy this evening. So yeah, I will be completely honest with you. Good evening, Anita. I am very unprepared. I had some bad news about 3 or 4 hours ago that the new Sunflower, yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. The buyers on our house have pulled out. We think they've said it's taking too long. Oh, they don't understand why. We are ready, and we've been ready for a week now. So I've had all that to deal with, solicitors, estate agents. So yes, apologies, I am a little unprepared. As long as you've got your pants on. Right, so I've got the sunflower set out. There was 2 votes for the sunflower. So I need some colours. I need some blends. I'm going to spin you round. Yes, Liz, it's been going on for months. Although, yeah, the divorce went through last year. Consent order has been agreed today as well, so everything's kind of happening at once. The consent order's been agreed, but the house sale may well have fallen through. Very frustrating. Need it sold, need it gone, but as my dad said, I can't do anything about it now, so don't worry about it. Great family parent advice. Don't worry about it, be fine. So I'm thinking, in absence of the bumblebee colour, I'm going to go what I did the other day, Daffodil Delight and Dark Mango Melody, because I thought that worked really well. So let's spin you around. I'm going to try and get this right today. Move my glass mat. Fairly fresh. It's always a good reason when things go wrong. Yeah, there is. I'm struggling to see it right now, Liz. I'm sure there is. Let me spin you around and get you up into this stand here. Hopefully that will have worked. I've been practicing again. So I'm going to stamp in crumb cake, I think, because I quite liked that effect. So the new sunflower set, let me put it in front of you. How gorgeous is that? I did not get the dies because I didn't think I needed them. Obviously, I was wrong. I really do need them. So they will be going in on another order soon, as soon as we can order from the catalogue, I should probably pop in those in my little basket because they are stunning, the dies. I don't have them to show you, so we're just going to have to work with the stamp set. Let's lift you up a little bit. I'm not sure whether that's you on my computer screen. Like I say, I've got a touchscreen computer screen. I think I pressed some buttons on it by mistake earlier. So I'm going to work with Whisper White. I think I might make a bigger card. I might make a 5x7 card because I say it is a birthday card. That would work. Let's celebrate you. So let's trim this down to 6x4. I think maybe 7x5, 6x4. Let's go with it. See what happens. Yeah, I can't see any of your comments. Because I don't know what I've done to the computer screen, which is a real shame. I love chatting to you all. Let me see if I can rectify this. Oh, on the fly. I'm not very good at technology at the best of times, let alone technology on the fly. So we've got that 4x6, which would let me do a 5x7 with a little bit of matting and layering. We've got the large sunflower, we've got the small sunflower, we've got some nice leaves. I was thinking we could do some watercolouring tonight. Could still do some watercolouring. Could pop that in the white and then watercolour that and just make a background and then pop a panel on the front. So let me see if we can do that. So we go. So I've been clearing out all my retired bits and pieces from the last few years. Oh my goodness, you don't want to know how much there is. Right, so I've got some white Stampin' emboss powder and I'm going to use my emboss buddy, which has seen better days. Maybe I need a new one of these too. And some Versamark ink. And we need a large acrylic block because it's a big stamp, this one. So this is the, just to give you some idea of perspective, that's the E block and it only just fits on E. So yeah, it's quite a big one. So when I'm embossing, I always have a piece of scrap paper . I know some people have the, sorry, my chair's really squeaky, so if you're hearing a bit of squeaking going on, it's my chair. So I always work on a little piece of scrap paper. I know some people have their embossing powders in tubs and they use a spoon to pour it over. Maybe I've got room to do that now, but I didn't before. So I still use it in the pot here and I just tip it over our piece of page. So I'm just going to try and make a background. I'm hoping the light's okay and that you can see everything. I may have to turn the lights on in a bit as it just starts to get a bit darker. Right, let me try and find these comments again. Now I've managed to bring this back up. There we go. Now I can see everybody and see what's going on. So let me catch up. Oh, I look beautiful. Thank you, Claire. That's a nice compliment to be paid. So gorgeous. What, me or the sunflowers? What else we got? You can see. Perfect, perfect. So I've got this large sunflower stamp. I'm going to grab my embossing buddy. I'm going to pop this all the way over. And so you just run it over. It's full of, oh, somebody did tell me once what was in here. It's like a flower. I don't know what else to say other than it's like a talcum powdery type substance, and you just pop it all over there, and what it does is it stops the oils in your fingers if you've been touching the card or if there's any damp spots on there. Cornflower, thank you, Liz. Everybody, you're going to need to keep telling me. It stops the oils on your fingers from picking up the embossing powder when we pour the powder on. You want it only to stick to the ink that you're going to be putting on there. So we're going to be using Versamark ink. It's a nice sticky ink, and I'm going to see if can just stamp a background all over, I think. Like I say, I am winging this a little bit. Sometimes I have things prepped, as you know, and sometimes I do not. This time I do not. The problem is with Versamark onto white, you can't see. Okay, so you just do need to either remember very well where you've put your embossing powder, your Versamark, where you've stamped, or just do a little bit at a time because you can see a little bit better, or you can hold it up to the light if there is any light. Oh, see, those are very close. I've just about managed to not overlap them, I think. Hey Jeanette, how are you doing? It's odd to be here in the evening. This is my normal craft alone time while I watch other people. I'm not used to being the one crafting. So, I think that's it. Then I'm going to sprinkle over, so I've got my piece of A4 paper underneath, and I'm going to use some of the white Stampin' Emboss powder. And at first you think, oh no, I'm wasting so much of it. This is gorgeous. This has come out really well. But you're not wasting any of it because we're going to pick all that back up and pop it all back in the pot. And you'll see in a minute how close I got to each other on these images. So now just take this, and always do this first, don't ever leave this. Pop it back in, we do not want to waste any of this. And then the lid goes back on. So I'm going to heat emboss those, so it'll be a bit noisy for a couple of minutes, bear with me. Quite a big image, so I'll just be a little while, bear with me, chat amongst yourselves. So I'm doubting you can see this, but there's my image, and it will be a little bit easier to see once I've coloured it in. So I'm going to go with Mango Melody and Daffodil Delight, because those were the colours I was going to work with. So there's those. I'm just going to switch the lights on. I'm hoping that doesn't. Let's just move these out of the way a little bit. So I'm not used to doing an evening Facebook Live, so that might be a bit better. Hello Jill, hello Brenda, nice to have you joining us today. So I've got my aqua painter. There you go. So you can actually see that embossing powder better now, can't you? Take that out there. And I'm just going to slowly start to colour the sunflowers in. I might grab a little bit of this crumb cake as well and see how we go on. So Claire, you had some exciting news today, which is fantastic. Claire, for those that don't know, is brilliant crafter, and she is going to start displaying her stuff in the little shop in her local town. So to get some ink onto these, all I'm doing is squishing them a little bit. And you can see a little bit of ink goes into the tray there. Yeah, it'd be good, Claire. I'm excited to see how that goes. I can't wait for you to for them to open. If you can't get any ink into this palette here, all you need to do is grab an acrylic. It was better before, but it's going to get very dark, Liz. I need to sort out some evening lighting. Otherwise you won't be able to see anything in a bit. It's going to get very dark out here, and the actual conservatory lights don't work very well. Hello Paula, how are you? Hope you're keeping well. So I've embossed my sunflowers. I'll try and keep out of the way so that you don't get my shadow. And I'm just going to slowly start to fill these in. Don't want too much water. There's some Mango Melody on there as well, I think. We're just creating a background. So I'm mixing up the Mango Melody and the Daffodil Delight. Yeah, it sounds really good, Claire. I might pop something over there. I'm not entirely sure I like that crumb cake that I put on. You never know with crafting, do you, until you give it a go. But most things can be covered up. I love this white effect though, where the embossing powder is giving a resist. So it's called an emboss resist, this technique. I actually just really enjoy working with that Mango Melody there. I really don't think it needs those other colours. So, in amongst my turbulent news today, my French bean seeds have grown, which I was not expecting at all. We'd given up on them about 3 or 4 days ago, when they'd been in for about 2 weeks and hadn't done anything at all. I left them, didn't water them at all, and I've just looked at them this evening and I've got a few bits of green sprouting up, which is lovely. It's lovely watching things grow. Never really done any gardening. Pretty good at making plants die. That is a bit of a forte of mine. So I'm really not laying much water down here at all. I've actually used completely the wrong cardstock. This is Whisper White because I was going to use the blends. You want to be using either a shimmery white or a watercolour. But yeah, this is Whisper White's okay as long as you're not going to put much. I know, strange, isn't it, Liz? I was reading up about them, and they need very hot temperatures to germinate dwarf French bean seeds. And I think maybe this little burst of hot weather, because the conservatory can get quite cold overnight, and we hadn't taken them in. We'd just left them in the conservatory. Yeah, we've got all sorts growing outside. We've got courgettes, we've got runner beans, we've got potatoes, we've got kale seeds are growing, tomatoes, cucumber, gherkins. I'm hoping that I don't need to go to the supermarket anymore. But I think maybe we might not ever be self-sufficient completely. I did want this to be a bit darker in the middle, but I just didn't like that crumb cake, so we're going to go with the Mango Melody all over and see what that looks like. Oh, I've been prepping and getting ready for the catalogue launch, which is soon, so I'm really excited about that. And some of your guys' class packs I notice we're out and arriving with you today, which is fabulous news. I wanted to get that out nice and early, so hopefully the rest of yours will. Oh, thank you, Jeanette. No, honestly, I think it's coming up fine. So it's it just doesn't hold as much water as the other two cardstocks. You've got to be quite light with it. So I'm using a thin aqua painter tip here, and it seems to be working okay. Pop a little bit of that on there. So you can see how with the watercolouring you can get a completely different gradient in colour just by using the one colour. Just depends how much you dilute it as to what transparency of colour that you get. I've been doing a bit of a watercolouring class online, which is fab, and it talks about you have to learn how to do your transparencies of colour, working from the very darkest to the very lightest. I find it fascinating. I love working with watercolours. Thank you, Yvonne. Yeah, I really love this effect with the white embossing powder. I was sad that black embossing powder is no longer in the new catalogue. So if you are a watercolorer and you love black embossing powder, that is disappearing, sadly, because it can give a really, really nice effect. We're going to be just down to the 4, I think, actually, the 4 colours: white, clear, silver and gold. So I thought I'd break open the white, sorry. You could do this with clear as well, because you're working on a white background. You could quite happily work with a clear embossing powder. So I'm coming to the end of the colouring, and I just need to think about what we're going to do next. I think maybe a panel. I might copy a layout, actually, a card layout. Yeah, it's great, Liz. It's through a company called Domestika. It is all in Spanish, but there are English subtitles. And she's a great, like, modern watercolour artist. I'm not a massive fan of the whole landscape portrait thing, but it's like painting galaxies, and yeah, I need to do more of it, really. I've only done 3 modules, I think, but it's been really nice to get my watercolour sets out and have a bit of a play. So I was going to say, I might copy a card sketch about what we did, the Stampin' Stars Creative Challenge on Sunday, and somebody there very kindly did a demonstration for us, and well, it wasn't a demo, we run through it in voice. We do, you're not allowed to see the card that you're making, but you can get the verbal instructions. It's hard. I always seem to do it the wrong way round, which probably says something about my ability to listen and my concentration span. Barbara Gray's been doing fab live videos daily since the lockdown. Oh, wow. And I know, Jill, you've been doing your life drawing. How's that been going? It's all in Spanish. Yeah, I was a bit surprised, but it did only cost £6 for the whole course, so I can't really complain. But it is, the subtitles are funny. Have you ever had them up on a YouTube, on a Facebook video? Where you've been watching a demo do it and you've had the subtitles on accidentally? Oh, they're terrible. They are really bad. Some of them, they're so funny what they come out with. Right, so we're at the end there. I really like that, how that's come out, actually. I'm really pleased with that. So I think we'll grab some, what have I got designer series paper wise? Might have to go into the box of retired stuff. Oh, you haven't done any for a while? That's a shame, Jill. So this is the Bright daffodil. I'll post a picture of this as well, because you can't really see it as well as you might want to. So I'm going to grab some Daffodil Delight there, because I think it's Mango Melody is going to be a little bit too dark. Yeah. So let's go with, thanks Paula. Oh, I've changed my room up today. I was going over there for the ribbon, but I've moved it. I think we'll grab some of this ruched ribbon, which is carrying over into the new catalogue. Maybe some of this polka dot ribbon. And I might... So let's get the trimmer out and start cutting some things up, I think. Let's move that out of there. This is the Scripty paper. So each of the colour families always has its own 6x6 paper pack. And this year's one was actually really nice. It's got these kind of hexagonals and a Scripty. Actually, that hexagonal looks quite nice. Let's go with that side. And let's start with 2 centimetres. I'm just grabbing some layers really. I'm not sure what we're going to do yet, but we're just going to grab some bits and pieces and then start to layer them up and see how we look. I wonder if that's going to be, that might look okay actually, watercoloured and then cut out. Are you up for me doing some fussy cutting? And we can pop some leaves out from behind it, stand that up, a little bit of ribbon. Got powder everywhere. That's the only problem with embossing powder, is it does tend to get everywhere. So let's grab this piece back, and my embossing buddy. This is just going to be one big sunflower. I'm going with the Whisper White again. It worked quite well, and what I don't want is different tones of white. I find if you work with a shimmery white, you kind of need to stick with shimmery white, and likewise with watercolour, because the Whisper White and the shimmery white and the watercolour cardstock can be slightly different tones. So you want to stick with the same tone of paper that you've got. Yeah, I think I need to sort out some lighting, some evening lighting. I wonder what would work. Probably not overhead, which is what I've got here. So for those that haven't signed up already for the catalogue launch, just while I sort all this out, it's on the Saturday the 13th of June. It'll be from 10 o'clock in the morning until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So 3 hours of fun-filled stamping up, basically. And it's various prices depending on who you are, essentially. Not obviously favouritising some people, but if you're a demonstrator, you don't need a catalogue, etc, etc. So ranging between £2 for a current customer and £5 for a non-customer. That's as much as it is, £5 to join in and grab all your make and takes. We'll be doing 2 make and takes. We'll have prize patrols, we've got scavenger hunts, we've got demonstrations, all sorts going on. I'm just going to heat emboss again. And we'll go with exactly the same, a little bit of Mango Melody and my aqua painter. So yeah, I've been prepping the catalogue packs. So we've got some, thanks Liz. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I've never done an online catalogue launch before. I've done them in person, but we've got some games of bingo. My only concern is that we're not going to fit it all in. I've got a very tight schedule, lots and lots to show you all. Yeah, really looking forward to it. So pick up some more ink. I want it quite dark in the middle. Try and get my head out of the way so you don't get that shadow on there. My poor little rabbits are struggling in this heat at the moment, bless them. They're currently flopped out, not doing an awful lot. It's be horrible having all that fur in this heat. I know, I think probably ought to think about getting them like an ice tray. Certainly if it gets as hot as it was 2 years ago. Poor little mites. So because I don't have the dies, I am going to have to fussy cut this sunflower. So you're going to have to bear with me. But I did get some new paper snips today. Our paper snips are absolutely fabulous. But I do think I've been mistreating mine ever so slightly. I have had them 3 years though. But I think just in certain places they're just starting to dull ever so slightly. I've got a feeling you could probably sharpen them if you had a good knife sharpener. So I'm intrigued to see what these new ones are like. I think 3 years is not a bad lifespan. And I cut all sorts with them. I cut ribbon, I cut red-sided tape, red double-sided tape with them. I cut my foam strips with them. It's just terrible. A cool mat. Yeah, I've seen them for the dogs and that, Claire. I probably ought to get one of those, I think. Or two. They don't live together. They don't get on. Used to. They used to get on like a house on fire. It was lovely to watch, but then they became teenagers. And now they're grumpy old men. And it's really difficult to bond a rabbit once they've unbonded. So we have them together. We do let them out together, but yeah, they get on for a little while. And then they start to fight, properly fight, so we have to jump in and we can't let them together when we're not there. So I'm just picking some of that up onto the acrylic block because I wasn't being able to get enough into the well of the ink pad there. But yeah, they're 2 boys, so they're, which I didn't know when I got them. That's actually quite the hardest rabbits to get on. You should be better off having a neutered male and female, but definitely neutered. You don't want them unneutered. They are adorable, bless them. They just don't like cuddles, which is a bit of a shame. We do, however. We love cuddles. They are not so keen. So let me grab my snips. In a brand new packet as well. I haven't even opened them. I meant to say as well, if you are a demonstrator and you'd like to draw. Oh, these are lovely. Oh yeah, these are cutting really nice. If you're a demonstrator and you'd like to join the catalogue launch, you absolutely can. It's £2.50, and that will get you all your make and takes. It gets you your bingo cards. It gets you your scavenger hunts, all your prizes, all your games and competitions. So I'd love to have you join us. Demonstrator or customer alike, everybody's welcome. Rabbit hates. Yeah, I think that's a thing. I was told not long ago that, well, a couple of years ago, that rabbits are one of the few animals whose parents don't pick them up. I hope you can see what I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I'm just fussy cutting this. So like dogs and cats, the adults pick the young up by the scruff of their neck. So they're quite used to being lifted, but rabbits aren't, and that's what they hate more than anything, is being picked up. Hey Sarah. Have you just got the one, Lisa? You've just got the one rabbit. Is it a boy or a girl? I did hope that ours might get a little more friendly as they got older, a little bit more docile, but I'm not entirely convinced that they will. We'll wait and see. They're about 3 years old now, I think. No, it must be more than that actually. Gosh, crikey, where does the time go? Dexter has one. They do pet beds. Pet beds with a canopy. Oh wow, you can get some stuff, can't you? They've got shade in their hutches. Sometimes they're sensible enough to sit in the shade. Sometimes they are not. They have got upstairs space, but I imagine that's probably a bit hotter, to be honest, as well. That is in the shade, but they probably like being downstairs with the fresh air. I know, and we were saying the other day, Anita, they are so cuddly looking. You'd look at them and to think, oh, they're so cuddly, but they're really not. And actually, they're not a great pet for a child because of that reason. I always wanted one when I was a kid. I was never allowed one. We had guinea pigs instead. And so kind of as soon as I was in a position, once I'd left the Navy and I was in a position to have rabbits, have a pet because I wasn't going away. Yeah, we got 2. No, one got attacked by a fox and wouldn't settle. Oh, bless. The other one wouldn't settle. No, I've got one who's quite adventurous when I go in the run with Elisa. With him. And he'll like come up and sniff, and if you try to change him out, that's when he goes mad and he just chases the broom around and all sorts. But one very timid, the other one attacked him when I left them alone just after they got neutered. That didn't end so well. I thought it was going quite well, so see, if I had the dies here, I would cut another one behind it and then just pop that up, so kind of off centre them, but I don't have the dies. You prefer guinea pigs, do you? Yeah, I've got somebody, I know somebody who keeps guinea pigs. Oh, I've always preferred rabbits. So that's our. See, I just think it wants something behind it. I'm wondering whether I stamp it again onto Daffodil Delight and then cut it out. I hope we've got a little while. I have got to go to work early tomorrow. I'm up at 5 o'clock to go to work, but other than that, I've got all the time in the world. So what I'm going to do is stamp it in Daffodil Delight, I think, because then I'll be able to see it better to cut it out. Oh, you had 6... Oh, not all at once. I should read the whole comment first, Jeanette. I had 6 guinea pigs. I didn't know that. Is that the only animals you've ever had? I know Morris isn't really an animal person, is he? So I've just stamped that in Daffodil Delight onto Daffodil Delight. Really? You had a vicious one? I've never heard of a vicious guinea pig. My cat was a little bit vicious, I must admit. So I'm just going to fussy cut this out and see how it looks behind it. So yeah, you can see why I need to get the dies. Although, yeah, I'm planning on doing some leaves behind there, Jeanette. Yep, I felt like the white and the white might want a little bit of Daffodil Delight behind there. But yes, I'm definitely going to do some watercolour leaves, I think. What colour? Probably Pear Pizzazz. I don't want them too dark. I love Granny Apple Green's probably my favourite. I'm not doing this all that neatly because I don't feel like I want to. Oh, you had dogs and cats. Have you got them at the moment, Sarah? Because you go away quite a lot, don't you? We would love a dog, but we can't. My shifts are too long. And Russ is out all day, every day. I've told him I could give up work and we could have a dog, but he didn't go for that. I wonder why. No way, it was that bad. Did you have him from young? It's unusual, isn't it? If you've had something from young for them to be vicious, if you're good animal parents. Yeah, we're thinking of getting a cat if finally, eventually, maybe we move one day. I'd love a little pussy cat. Oh, it was a rescue. Yeah. It's probably been really mistreated then and really not used to human interaction. It's one of the things I found hardest about when I got my little hamster was actually, to begin with, you need to let them just settle. Yeah, our rescues, I didn't for these two, and I didn't for my hamster either. I don't think you get rescue hamsters quite as much. But had I known about the South Coast Rabbit Rescue, I probably would have done for the rabbits. I didn't know about it at the time. But they do fab work. Oh, you want Granny Apple Green, do you, Jeanette? I can certainly do Granny Apple Green. It's a lovely bright colour. Do you know what? I normally do this. I fussy cut something really intricate out and then I look at it and go, actually, I didn't want that in the end. I save it for something else, but it's normally the way. You just don't know until you look at it. That's the thing with crafting. You can visualise. I know somebody said the other day, and I can't remember who it was, said they had a vision in their head and just could not seem to recreate it. So all I want is that just offset ever so slightly. Hutching a run with a guinea pig and a tortoise in the same. Oh, pussycats are the best. I do. Well, if you can get a good one, Anita, I completely agree. They are fab. Right, so let's grab a little bit more card, and we'll take some of these big leaves, I think. Yeah, we'll take some big leaves and some. You have a cat called Minx. Oh, 17-year-old. Oh, bless her. She hates catteries. Must be difficult. At least you've got a lovely neighbour that will come in and feed them. That's really nice. I found a rabbit hotel for my two for when we go away. I do so need the dyes. So I don't know. I had a 50% off item as well, and I thought, oh, I don't need anything else. So I just got the sunflowers. Why I did not get the bundle, beyond me. Crazy. So let's Versamark that up. Let me get my little piece of paper. Hey, Alison. Nice to have you join us. So grab some more Versamark. Yeah, before that I was leaving them with, you know, kind of a week's worth of hay and then having some food rather in a little one of those. I think just 3 leaves. Let's go for 3. In one of those kind of dog feeders that you can get. Although I've got one rabbit who is greedy, for want of a better word. And he kind of eats his straight away and then has got nothing left, so that didn't really work. And one was far more disciplined. Bless you, Sandy. You look after him. He's doing a fantastic job out in the supermarket, bless you. Thanks for joining us though, and look after yourself, won't you? And see you again on Tuesday, I hope. I shall be back on Tuesday morning, all things being well. Oh wow, 2 cats, a dog, 6 guinea pigs and 2 rabbits. Bless you, that's a lot of animals. Right, so let me grab the Granny Apple Green. So if anybody hasn't used aqua painters before, to get rid of the ink that's in the tip here, all you need to do is grab a piece of spare paper, spare tissue, and just keep working it, squeezing the ink through, and you'll see it run clear. So that's ready to use now. You thought you were bad with 2 dogs, 5 cats and a bunny. Was that all at once, was it, Lisa? I've only ever had 1 animal at a time, I think. I used to have a lot of hamsters when I was little. Loved them, although they used to keep escaping. Yeah, they were a real, one of them, bless him, yeah, he was a real escape artist. But my dad always managed to find him. Good old dad. My dad was much freer than I was with them though. We used to have them out in the living room and running around. I had Poppy recently, my hamster, little hamster, and she, I just didn't want to let her loose anywhere. I was so scared I was going to lose her. So I'm just watercolouring these leaves again. A little bit darker in the middle and a little bit lighter as we get out towards the edges there. That's what you've got now. 5 cats. Do they rule the roost? 1 cat rules the roost normally, don't they? I'm hoping my phone's not going to be funny today. It's we've got a bit more, it's not as hot. My phone on these lives has not been enjoying the heat that it's been succumbing to through the window. Good evening, Mick. How are you? Nice to have you join us. Cat's nearly 15, going senile. Oh, really? Turning all cuddly and nice. Forgetting to be horrible. That's funny, Alison. Bless you. Oh, that's what I'm hoping will happen to the rabbits. I'm hoping they'll get a bit more docile as they get older. So I'm just fussy cutting the leaves out here. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Just following the outline of that white embossing powder. It is a nice green, isn't it? I know. I was very sad when Lemon Lime Twist disappeared. Year before last year. I lose track. So there's the one. They come as they please. Yeah. The only thing is, Lisa, I'll be quite honest, I don't like cats in my garden because the rabbits, they scare them. They stand there and they look at them and the rabbits just kind of thump back at them, but the cats are not scared by the rabbit's thumps, so they just stand there. So I do tend to go out there and shoo them away. It's like if I could have and I can't have one of these cat scarers because they drive me mad. I can hear them. But yeah, if I could have like a better fence, but they don't, cats just ignore fences and barriers. It's like their world is their oyster. Oh, they play together, that's nice. Yeah, I do love a cat, I must admit. If they're a pet and they're mine, then I would love them. Oh, the rabbit and the cat play together? Really? Cats around here seem to hate the rabbits and the rabbits hate the cat. We've got one and it digs up. We've just put netting up around the veg bed as well because he's been digging in the veg bed. Little blighter, but they are adorable. You can't really be cross at them for very long, can you? Right, so I'm going to get some backing for this because I always find it easier to see what I'm doing long term. But I think we need a new sheet, so I'm just going to grab the Daffodil Delight. So even though I worked with the Mango Melody ink, actually I'm working with Daffodil Delight cardstock because I want to pick out those lighter tones. We have Mummy Mitten and her little girl Molly. Oh, that's adorable. Yeah, you love your cats, don't you, Anita? So I'm just going to trim this down. That other one was 4 by 6, so I'm going to trim this down to 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, I think. Cat's scary. Yeah, you prefer your dog, don't you? So I'm wondering whether we go this way round. So it almost needs something bolder on the front. It's a bit wishy-washy. Not 100% convinced. Ah, yes, the new trimmer. Yeah, it's It's great. I must admit, I need to get a new scoring blade though. My little notches on my scoring blade broke. I do tend to throw mine around a bit. Decisions. Put that on there. How can I lift that out a little bit? Maybe just more leaves. Cats and dogs, you've got 2 cats, have you? Oh, that's quite nice actually. That's coming together. Maybe if I lift it up as well, that will help it to stand proud. So let's stick this onto here. Oh, gold pen highlights. There's a thought. Actually, some shimmer paint might work. I wonder. I'm just going to grab some liquid glue and pop this onto here. Oh, if I can get it out. I've been terrible recently at leaving the glue top off. I've seen the pics. What have I seen the pics of? Anne-Marie, what have I seen the pictures of? The cats. I know your cats are gorgeous. See, this is where I abuse my scissors. I probably shouldn't use them to unstick the glue. I know, I have seen a picture of the kittens. They are cute as... And the tea party where you can go to see the cats as well. That's brilliant. I didn't even know that was a thing. You can go and have tea surrounded by lots of cats. Do you know you can do rabbit ones as well? You can go and have tea surrounded by lots of rabbits. Like a rabbit tea party. Right, there we go. So let's just pop some glue on the back of there. That took longer than I had hoped it would. And we're going to pop that across there. Then we're going to tie some ribbon round. And pop that in a knot. I've taken to knots rather than bows. I was chatting to somebody earlier and I said that I was drowning in unused ribbon. Tea with cats. Anita, ask Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie is the tea with cats lady. You've been a couple of times, haven't you? You probably can't do it at the moment. Well, you can't. I'm sure you can't do it at the moment. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of snail and pop some ribbon on the back here so that it comes across. And I'm going to cut that about there and pop some on this side as well. That would be your worst nightmare. Yeah, some people are not cat lovers. I was surprised that you could do it with hygiene, for hygiene reasons really. But yeah, you can go and have like afternoon tea. Come on, Anne-Marie, you'll have to tell us where you went. I'm just going to tie that in a knot, although I've tied it at the wrong end. Let me just take those 2 off. The beauty of snail. We can just take them off, switch them round. Lady Dinah's Cat Emporium, that's it, in Shoreditch. So let's grab those. I want the knot over on the right hand side. So that's what I did wrong. High tea or cake and tea. Just going to tie that in a knot there. Trim the ends. The joy of this, if you don't quite do it tight enough, is you just, so there's a little bit loose, you just grab one end, peel that away, pull it tighter, and then pop it back, and then you've got a nice tight ribbon again. So we're just going to offset that slightly and then stick it down. You had a lovely time, didn't you? With your, did you go for the high tea? I think you did the high tea, didn't you? We did. We went to London and we had Willy Wonka. Was it Willy Wonka? Yeah, I'm sure it was. We went to Willy Wonka's tea party. The hardest thing was trying to find the blooming venue, but that was really good. So I'm just going to stick this onto my Daffodil Delight background. Pause for Thoughts Cafe. Is it the same kind of thing, Kate, is it? So we're just going to stick this down onto our base card there. Although it is gonna go onto a 7x5 card blank. I'm going to cheat ever so slightly and use a card blank. Very naughty. And I'm going to stick that up on some dimensionals. I thought you did have the high tea. That's the big option, isn't it? So pop that up on 4 of those. And then we can stick our leaves in behind here, you see. I may do some more leaves actually. I'm just going to give them a bit of shape. I could have done that with the sunflower as well actually. It's never too late. Yeah, let's make this a little bit shapely. That will help raise it up off the page as well. And it looks like I'm being really rough with my card, but I am basically. Yes, we could put a gem in the middle of the sunflower, absolutely. There we go, just give it a little bit of shape there. Could put a few gems in the centre actually. A little bit of glue on that leaf. They're quite small leaves actually for the sunflower. I wonder if we put 5 on. Let's try doing a couple more. I like experimenting. So embossing buddy again. I always have to kind of talk to myself when I do embossing, heat embossing, make sure I do the process right. Oh, that's nice. All the profits go to the cat charities. Well, that's a good idea, that, Kate. There's some lovely little cafes around, isn't there? Hey, Fiona. I went to one for a friend's birthday, and it was like it's like a vegan restaurant, and I'm really not vegan. Don't get me wrong, I have nothing wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just don't think I could ever do it. But I was really scared by the menu actually. I didn't really understand a lot of it, but it was gorgeous. The food was amazing. I never ever would have thought to go in there if somebody hadn't kind of taken me in. So I'm just going to heat emboss these two again. So who thinks they're going to need to add the sunflowers to an order in June when the catalogue goes live? Stunning, isn't it? It's a lovely little set. £20. I didn't think that was all that bad, actually. We could always, if people are up for it, try and do a product-based class in July. It would probably be with using the sunflowers. So you get the price of the class. I need to work it all out, but if people are up for it, you can get the sunflower set in with the price of the class, basically. And then we could do lots of things. So I wouldn't need to just use papers, which is what I'm largely doing at the moment for the classes. Oh, do you know what, Claire? That's not a bad shout, actually. I've got a little product here, Stampin' Up one. We don't do glossy accents, but it's almost the same thing, but it's got little specks of glitter in it as well. Let's get that out. That's a really good idea. So I'm just going to fussy cut those out as well. So lots of fussy cutting tonight. Hence why I should have got the dies, going back to that. I'm looking forward to being able to get the new in colour inks. I don't know if I've shared with you. I did on my blog post. I shared with you the new in colours. They are amazing. Do you know what, Lisa? I don't have fine tip glue. It's a product I've never bought. Oh, you'd be up for that, would you, Claire? A little product-based class. We haven't done one, I think, since before Christmas. So yeah, we could definitely do a sunflower one. I've got loads of ideas. But yes, no, I can't remember what this thing is called, but I found it. And it is carrying over. I didn't know if it was going to. You do have some good ideas, Claire, exactly. Yeah, we were talking the other day about inspiration, and actually when I was chatting to Claire, I realised something myself. Sometimes I can sit here and I'm lacking creativity, let's say, and I stress over it. I don't know if anybody else does the same, but actually when I said this to Claire, it made a lot of sense to me, and that was when the creativity is there, ride with it, and when it's not, just relax. Because we can be really hard on ourselves, and actually the more you relax, the more the creativity comes. So yeah, we've got this, which is the Shimmery Crystal Effects, and that is carrying over into the new catalogue, so we can definitely use that. Do you like the fine tip glue as well, Yvonne? Yeah, maybe I need to get some. It's just something I've never really... Because I must admit, I can be quite gentle with the Tombow, so I've never really felt the need for fine tip glue, but maybe it does lots of other things as well. So, where do we want this one, if we want this one at all? I think just like that. So let's grab some glue. I'm going to have to unstick this one. You know, when you get the... It's just because I've left the lid off too long. It very rarely happens with Tombow glue. But all you need to do is stick a little pin in it. So let's have that one under there, and then that one on here. The only thing with this is it does take a little bit of time to dry, so I'm going to have to pop it on last. I want the sentiment. What adds the shine, Sarah? Sorry, the fine tip glue or the Shimmery Crystal Effects? If it's the fine tip glue, then I feel like I'm missing out because I like a bit of shine. Right, so I want to use the sentiment, let's celebrate you. I say this is for Russ's mum for her birthday. And I think I'm going to show you the new punch. I don't want to show you too much. I don't want to spoil it before the catalogue launch party. But the stuff's so good, I just want to use it and play with it. So I need a little bit of sunflower, Daffodil Delight card, I think. I'm going to go with an inch wide. Yeah, I'm going to go with an inch wide. Oh, does it? Well, maybe I need that in my life then. Actually, that might be too wide. Let's go 3/4. I may end up changing my mind if it won't fit. I don't want it too thick across the page. I'm going to try and heat emboss that straight, but I'm not entirely convinced. It looks a bit better with the 3 leaves there, doesn't it, Jeanette? So that should fit on there. I grab our block. And my paper. And then I'm going to grab some... How is it? I mean, this desk's really tidy right now as well, but I still managed to lose everything. Some Versamark. I could lose what's right in front of my face when I'm crafting. And let's see if I can get this straight. Not bad, not bad. And then I'm going to heat emboss that in white. I think I'm coming off the page so you can't see. So the Y is just cutting off the page ever so slightly, but I don't think she'll mind. So I've just managed to get a little bit of embossing powder around the edge, and you can just scrape that away with your finger. You could use a little paintbrush as well if you wanted to. That's actually shown up quite well. I'm hoping you can see it, the white onto the Daffodil Delight there. And I'm going to grab this punch and pop it into this end one. I'm not going to tell you too much about this punch, but apart from the fact that it's awesome and it does lots and lots of things. Whet your appetite is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to cut that down to about there. Sarah's live. Yes, I know, Anne-Marie. Did you know what? I thought about it this morning, or rather this afternoon, and I thought, shall we cancel? Sarah is doing it's product. What are they doing? Somebody remind me. Something give back. Oh my gosh, my memory has literally gone. It's the day of service. Every year, Stampin' Up has a day of service. I'm just going to pop that under there actually, I think. And they normally go out into the community and do something positive for the community. This is Stampin' Up as a company, and the CEO everybody normally goes out into the community and does a day of service. Obviously they can't do that at the moment, so one of the things that they are doing instead is an online card making chat kind of experience for all the staff, and they've sent the staff packs so that they can make the cards up and then they can send them off. So yeah, we are missing that, but I thought actually there's probably quite a lot of people who didn't know about that, and I had already committed to doing this. Haha, no, are you watching me do the housework? Bless you. So I'm just going to pop that up on dimensionals there. I'm also missing Michaela Titheridge's live, which I often watch. So I've just popped that on the back there. I'm going to grab a card. And so this is a 7x5 card. And I'm going to decorate the envelope as well, I think. maybe not tonight. It's 9:30 already. I say I have to be up at 5, probably 5:20. Probably get away with that. I've made my lunch already. And I'm just going to pop that on there. So I quite like that nice big border. It makes it look quite, yeah, makes it look quite sophisticated. Bit of glue all around there. So I should be definitely catching up with Sarah's day of service Facebook. I think she's doing a Facebook Live. And I think I missed the Tuesday night one as well, when they were telling us all about it. It's a lovely company, Stampin' Up. They do quite a lot of philanthropic, that's a good word, philanthropic events. Right, so that's all on there. That leaf's just not sticking. I'll have to keep an eye on that. And then I'm going to try some of this shimmery crystal effects. Just going to test it on some scrap. I just don't know where I want it. Just going to do it in some lines to give it a bit of texture. I don't want to fill the whole thing in, but I do just want to give a little bit of dimension. A little bit of interest. And I might grab some bling. Sorry if I go quiet, it's because I'm chatting. You can barely see this, to be honest, but I think that's quite often the way with things that just add a little bit of interest. If you weren't looking for them, you might not know they were there. But I will need to just be careful with this while it dries. Let's see what we've got in the bling pot. Right, so I've cleared out my my bling as well, and I'm not left with an awful lot. They're quite nice. So I think I might need to go bling shopping as well soon. So these are the Frosted and Clear Epoxy Drops. And I've used quite a lot of the clear ones, but I'm just going to pop some frosted ones on. This is the hardest part for me, is knowing where to put them. And I always just kind of lay them on gently so that you can move them. Move them around. So I could put them all in the middle. I could put a big one in the middle. No, I don't like that. I think that's good. Just there, I think. You want normally on odd numbers, and you want like a triangle. I'm happy with that. So there is our sunflower card. So this was the Celebrating Sunflowers set. So much you can do with this, some beautiful images. And that's what we've come up with. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. Thank you very much. I was struggling with what to make tonight. Struggling with a little bit of creativity. So it definitely happens to us all. Lose our mojo a little bit. But it was really nice to come on here, have a bit of a chat with you guys, and to make something. And that will go to Russ's mum for her birthday, which is just after his. So he's having the Come Sail Away card that I made for the blog hop last week. and that I sent out in the newsletter. And I must admit, I had to. He reads my newsletters, and I sent it, and then I didn't think, so I had to send him a quick, don't read that. You love the sunflowers, Paula. Yeah, I'm growing some this year. I've got 5 in the garden, 2 of which are doing really, really well, one of which is not doing so well. Thank you, Emma. I really enjoyed doing that. I love a little bit of watercolouring. And isn't it funny how you can kind of go, I'm not sure if it's going to work, and actually when it all comes together at the end. Thank you, Anita. I loved it too. It's nice to be able to come together with you. So I'm sad I can't do tomorrow morning. I shall be thinking of you all while I'm at work, and I shall be back again next Tuesday for a little bit more. So lovely. Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you so much for dropping by and joining us. And I can't wait to craft alongside you all in the catalogue launch as well. That'll be good fun. Thank you, Anne-Marie. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, you lot take care. Look after yourselves. Enjoy the sunshine this weekend. But stay safe. Stay well. And I shall catch up with you again soon. Bye-bye.